Okay, so we are continuing the Bhagavad Gita. This is chapter 3, and we had done up to verse 39. So we are going to continue from verse 40 onwards. So the verse 40 from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3 says, "The senses, the mind, and the intellect are declared to be its seat, covering the knowledge through these. It desires, deludes the embodied soul." So there are three things being discussed over here. Those are connected to the subtle body. The senses, the mind and the intellect. The mind and the intellect are connected to the subtle bodies, and the senses, the physical body, that is the gross body. Prana is also a part of it, by the way. So all these are interconnected, and what happens to this is the embodiment of the soul happens because of the last one, which is called the causal body. The causal body is the reason why you have got this body, physical one. Now all these other elements which we discussed about, that is mind, body, intellect, so on and so forth, they will keep you trapped in the material world as an embodied being. So what do the senses do? The senses attract. There are desires in it. So whatever the desires that are there in this world, they are drawing the objects outside towards you through the senses. Let us say you have a need for buying a new phone. Now it's kind of a need, but then that need is also a desire. Now you may say, in a differentiation is done, one is a want, one is a need. Need is something which is very, very important, people say this. And want and a desire are slightly lower in that category. The wants and desires could be still lower. But actually everything is clubbed in as a desire. Even the need is a kind of a desire. I need those things. I have those requirements. I need them. All that you need is of a current yuga, this yuga. Where is it important to absolutely need those objects? A cell phone is currently considered as a need. Even a Swamiji from the Himalayas, today where there is no transactions happening, he will have to do the transactions with a phone. He will say, I need it. You need a bank account, you need a phone, you need apps, you need so many things which go rolled, literally bankrolled in one thing only. And then you say, if I have to exist in this world, I need to have so many documentations. But let us say you are a sannyasi. What is the documentation that you need? You are staying somewhere. You are not even earning money. You are taking food from somewhere else. You don't even have a house to stay. You are staying in different ashramas maybe. You may be living in a cave. Does it matter? So for such a person, there is no desire and there is no need. Why does he need a cell phone? He doesn't even have the money to do transactions, so there is no need of anything as such. He doesn't care much for the body, so he may say, I don't need any documentation to prove who I am. So such a kind of a person is very, very rare in today's day and age. So the desires is also the need. Or a need is also a desire. Remember this. So you say that I need a phone because my old one is not working. That was a 2G phone. Now I need a 3G or a 4G phone or a 5G. I don't know. Something like that. Otherwise the net doesn't work. Otherwise this doesn't work. So you have these needs coming up time and again. There was a time when people did not even have a phone. They would operate with maybe the dial-up kind. Later on came the pagers and then the small Nokias and all those. And now then you have the 2G, then the 3G, then LTE, 4G. Now it is 5G. Maybe tomorrow there will be 6G and you will say, oh, my old phone doesn't work in this new kind of circumstances. So I need to upgrade. So did you get it? So the desires is the one which makes you draw this object towards you. This is one example to tell you how everything in this world is so attracted. The next thing is called the mind. A mind is a very important tool for reaching God as well. Please understand this. It is a very, very important tool. But human beings use this mind for other purposes. For devious purposes also. Some minds are so devious that they will go and rob stuff. You know that. Some minds are so devious that they will cheat the world. Too many things. Are we not seeing a lot of what is called as a fake news going around today? There is one newspaper group which is against the government, our local government over here. They came up with a story. It is not 5 feet or 1.5 meter or whatever. It is 15 feet is required, a distance between two. So my disciple asked me, why is this? So I said, think about it. This is one group of people who are against the people at the center, those who are ruling this country. Now imagine if I say 5 feet distance. So in an aircraft or in a train, I can sit at least in one row, I can sit 2-3 people. But if I say 15 feet, what happens? Only 10 people can travel in the entire flight, Only 5 people can travel in an entire compartment in a train. These people have devious minds. They want to spread this kind of a false news which is going to pull this entire thing down. So mind is a very, very beautiful tool if you use it to reach God. But it is also a devious tool to go and destroy somebody else. And there are own people in the world who are going to do that. Now this is the job of the mind. It is very sneaky. It is devious. It is good. It is excellent also. So mind is a tool. Now, intellect is just the supplier of information and the knowledge. And because the intellect is the one which stores the knowledge and informs and tells us what we are supposed to do intellectually. But the judgment is always connected to the mind. The mind is always judging. The information is there. This. It is for the mind to do the judgment. Remember, the senses are interacting with the mind. The senses are giving feedback to the mind. It is telling how this has to be seen, heard, touched, like that. So, they are declared to be the seat of intellectual knowledge as well as not. So I gave you an example just now how the same mind can be used in a wrong way and how it can be used in the right way. I will tell you now. There are thousands and thousands of people working on the solution for the virus that is causing problem to us. They are thinking of ways in which they can solve these issues. So we are working out a pattern through the mind. So the mind is a very intelligent tool also. It can help us overcome issues. So how do you use your mind? The same mind can be used for the worst case scenarios also. You can tell the world, the whole world is going down, the whole world is getting destroyed, there is virus in the air, nobody can work, the economy is in shambles, blah, blah, blah. Whereas a good mind will say, this is a very good time for us to recuperate, get up and start winning. Whatever issues that were there in the past, look at the environment today. Hasn't it got cleaned? The rivers are clean, the air is cleaned, everything is getting cleaner. People are able to work from home. There is no need of spending too much money buying unnecessary things. The stupid spending which a person used to do every Saturday, Sunday, going to restaurants and wasting money over there, now the same person is sitting at home and eating food made by his own hands or by whoever it is there. We are doing social distancing. There is no need to go and hug a person. You see, in India we have a very simple philosophy of saying namaskar. Stay far away. What is this issue of hugging people? Already the hands are dirty. They have never washed hands when they have gone and cleaned their bottoms. And then you want to hug people? What is this? Using paper and all those things. I'm sorry, it is not clean. In India, we may be staying in the dirtiest of the places. It doesn't matter. But we will still do namaskar. It's only for the elders that we touch the feet. We don't go and hug them or kiss them. There is no PDA over here. See, look at the places where the PDA is happening. You know what PDA is, no? When a person hugs and kisses and does all kinds of personal, they show display of affection, they call it. So personal display of affection is causing too many issues. Diseases like syphilis, AIDS, this, that, are they not spreading around? And today, isn't the air spreading around this disease? So please do not show PDA. It is not required. Why would you want to spread diseases? Can you not be safe? So the mind can tell you these things. These are intelligent things. Learning can be done distantly also. You don't need to pay $50, $60, $70,000 for a stupid university and then stay in another $300,000, $400,000 houses or $30,000-$40,000 you have to pay for accommodation. Why does a person have to do that? In India, we do education at dirt cheap levels. In China, you do it at still dirt cheap levels. You see, in China, the same education, if you want to become a doctor, it is at half the price of India. If they can do it in half the price, why is it that countries like United Kingdom or USA or all these countries are literally fleecing people? It's not required. So mind, use your mind. You can sit at home and take a degree also, get educated. So the positive aspect of whatever the virus thing is doing today, a tremendous amount of good is done. But there are people who will still say, I am bored sitting at home. Those people have never developed the skill of studying or never developed the skill of being one with their self. They want to be in the social company of people. They think they get better education when they go to colleges or institutions or when they go to office. It's a waste of money. Today the world is being taught how not to spend money. Can you imagine? All the banks are closed. The bank may be open, but nothing is happening. Why? Because you can't move out. There is no money in ATMs. Not a single penny is there in ATM. And yet the world is running. 2 years ago, Narendra Modi did something very unique. He did what is called as demonetization of currency. And the entire India was upset. Today, coronavirus is doing demonetization. Do you get the point? And yet, you are without a penny sitting at home and still doing transactions through apps. Can you see? You can do online transactions. The internets are in place. This teaches us very beautiful things. So looking at the upside of whatever is happening today, people, those who love to waste time in the offices, traveling to places long distance, those who love to waste people's money, their own parents' money or their own money, or taking huge loans, going to Americas and all these other countries, trying to get degrees for themselves, they are the foolish kind. You can sit at home and get a degree if you want, or a post-graduation, or do whatever that is required. It is possible today. Coronavirus is responsible for making this happen. These same universities who are living on grants of billions of dollars, they should not be given that kind of a support. On the contrary, they should invest in technology, which will reach to the remotest person on earth. And this is what this thing is happening. So look at it. The knowledge can be disseminated among everybody. If we follow this, whatever God-given thing has happened, we just attribute it to God. It's not that God has deliberately put, oh, coronavirus, you go. He's not doing anything like that. Who is responsible for this? Some idiots who go and eat bats. They are batty people. Mad. That is not a thing to eat. Dogs, bats, cats. What are they eating? Aren't there other stuff? Any which way you are like a pig eating a pig, no? What is the big deal in that? So eat the pig if you want. Islam prohibits pigs, you know that. So at least 1/3 of the people in the world may not be eating pigs. But Hinduism prohibits beef. So another 1/3 of the population. The rest of the people, they are interested in all this. Why is it important? This will teach them. One, none of these things are available now. The food which is, sort of cooked, what is called as the fast food. I'm sorry, it is not fast food. I have seen restaurants where they cut the onion and the chilies and the tomatoes in the morning and they serve it at the end of the day, calling it fresh sandwich. How is it fresh, by the way? I don't understand how the sandwich can be fresh. So now today, just imagine this new problem which has come up will teach you not to keep stuff like that, cut and kept. So don't cut tomatoes and keep it in the fridge. And don't eat stuff which is going to be lying in the fridge because it can contain all kinds of diseases, germs and viruses. Eat fresh food. We are going to do an entire episode on this, on what kind of food a person can eat. It has to be fresh. There are certain foods like curd. That curd can be kept in the fridge, of course. Curd can stay for a very long time, but not freshly cut tomatoes or onions. It's not required. So I hope you understood the current scenario because of this. So what happens to this? Covering the knowledge through this. These are the things, the mind, the intellect and the senses, they cover the knowledge. The knowledge I told you is material worldly knowledge. Just now whatever I said is nothing but material worldly knowledge. It is not allowing you to do things. I gave few examples. Examples like education and food and so on. But now think, are there other things also? Yes. You can do a lot of saving. There is no need of wasting money over stupid stuff. So use that thing which God has given you, the mind and the intellect, correctly. Otherwise, you are going to cover it up, cover the knowledge up. So that is important. And because it covers the knowledge up, what happens to you? A person gets looped into this world. Again and again and again, he is going through rebirths. So that rebirths don't happen, we have to open out this knowledge. So we are moving to verse 41, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3. Therefore, Arjuna, you must first control your senses and then kill the evil things which obstruct the jnana and vijnana. So, Krishna is telling Arjuna, first and foremost, just take care of your senses. Your senses should not do something wrong. Let the senses not tell you something wrong. Don't make judgments with your mind. Do not use that intellect for wrong purposes. How is that to be done? First, take the senses. If you see something happening, do not suddenly jump to conclusions. All right? Take the example that I gave, PDA. When a person hugs another person, in India, immediately the thought goes, oh, they are having an affair. Isn't it? Isn't that how mind thinks? That is not needed. So what is Krishna saying? Eliminate it. Eliminate the process itself. Can you be proper in public? What does it mean? Don't have to show this kind of a behavior. This is respectful behavior. When we do namaskar, not hi. What is this hi? Respectful behavior to everybody. Namaskar. When we wish another person, now in India we do not have good morning as a translation. Sometimes we say, in my childhood, I used to say Sukhi Bhava. Sukhi Bhava is let everybody be happy, kind of. Now think, instead of wishing everybody good morning, good morning, good morning, can we take the name of God? So Jai Shri Krishna, like we say over here. Now here they say Jai Shri Krishna Guru also. It's a good form of greeting. So what Krishna is saying over here is, can you use your mind, your senses and your intellect properly? Don't make judgments. Don't do anything wrong. You must first control your senses. Do not allow your senses to roam around freely here and there. See, you cannot control the way in which your eyes are going to go about, isn't it? Yes, you may see something in front of you, but there is no need for you to jump to conclusions. Hold on. Because the mind immediately jumps to it. Suppose somebody says something bad to you, you hear those words. Immediately you start jumping up saying, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this. What is the point in doing that? Krishna is saying very clearly, first control them. Control the senses. Whatever you hear, whatever you see, whatever you smell, whatever you touch, experience it, but do not make judgment. Do not come to conclusions immediately, because you may fall down. What happens is, in the normal world, you're going to lose what is jnana. You're going to lose connect with knowledge. And then there is divine knowledge also. The divine knowledge is anyway covered. For everybody, literally, it is covered. Nobody understands what is divine knowledge because simply we think we are the body. The moment I'm talking about the senses, and then mind, I am talking at the lowest level. The level of a worm, That is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a higher being. A higher being doesn't have to bother about his senses because the senses are always under control. He doesn't allow his senses to roam around. He may see 10 things, but he's not going to make any judgment. If any words leave his mouth, they will always be good. He may give good advice. He may say good stuff. It is not necessary to use the same senses. Speech, remember? It is one of the organs of action. Speech is one of the organs of action. You don't have to speak. You don't have to do judgments. So keep your mouth shut. A yogi keeps his mind and mouth shut. A bhogi, you understand, bhogi means a person who loves to enjoy this world. A bhogi uses his mouth quite a lot for eating, drinking, all those things, plus talking. Too much of blah, 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 blah. That is a bhogi's job. Get out of it. You don't have to talk about other things. No need. So control the senses. Next is control the mind. Can you control the mind by not getting into any kind of a controversy anywhere? Don't become controversial. Controversies are some things which basically, when you have to say something which is not in the right way. There are people in this world who are talking about, like just now only I corrected, and I said, you cannot say God is raining down viruses on you. You can't say these words. Why is God interested in raining down viruses on you? Viruses got created because of some idiot sitting and eating bats or some other creatures. It's nothing to do with God. God is saying, on the contrary, can you be safe? Stay at home. Whoever is telling you that story which is there in the Buddha's Chronicles, you see, there is a guru and he tells his disciple, everything is God. So he learns that and he goes out. And he sees a wild elephant charging towards him. But the Mahout sitting on top of the elephant says, get out of the way, get out of the way, get out of the way. This person says, oh, Ganesha is charging towards me. He's not going to do anything to me. And the elephant comes near and kicks him, throws him away. Then he goes on and asks his guru, you said that God is in everything. Why did this God punish me? Why did this elephant throw me? So the guru looks at him and says, wasn't the Mahout God telling you to get out of the way? Now don't you have a mind and an intellect which will tell you to do the right stuff at that point in time? The similar circumstances, the virus that is there today, the God is telling you, the other God is telling you, stay at home. Don't go out anywhere. Don't go and contaminate the atmosphere around you. Stay safe. But people want to go out and make merry. They want to dance about. They want to go to beach. They want to go on the roads. In India, there were 10 people, 10 foreigners who were staying in Rishikesh. They went for a stroll. We were very clearly told not to get out of that place. No, we just wanted to go out for a walk. They were caught by the police and told to write 100 times that they will not do that. I mean, just imagine they have to be treated like kids. Write in a book, I will not do this again, or something like that. Why would you want to flout this kind of a thing? It's not important. There is no need for you to go out. You will get everything in wherever you are. You can order on the apps, you can go and, just call up and the person will come with food or milk or whatever. It's there. So there are means. So use the mind and the intellect properly. Don't misuse it. So don't go out. Very simply, the God who says these words, don't go out and mix around because it can be problematic. Have you seen countries like United States or France or England where suddenly the graph has shot up through the roof like this? 22,000 cases, France 14,000 cases, 12,000 cases. Oh my God. So many deaths, I mean, not even cases. Cases are to the power of 2, I think. I don't know. There is no need. I don't think there is so much of a necessity that you need to go and mix around in the public. Stay away. You're not going to die. I think yogis can live for a very, very long time instead of dying, they don't die. And have minimum interaction with people. So, these things called the senses, mind, intellect, they can destroy knowledge as well as the divine knowledge. Both the knowledges can be destroyed. Jnana, Vijnana can be destroyed. So can you control this? Control your mind, control your intellect, control your senses, use it properly. It's like a knife given to you. Use it for cutting vegetables and don't use it for destroying somebody. Got it? This is the answer. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, you have been given a fantastic mind. Don't waste it. Don't destroy it. Use your senses, your intellect and your mind very, very properly. And this is a time when you can actually think and do a lot of things. So do it instead of wasting your time or thinking that this world is coming to an end. Don't do that. We are moving to verse 42 from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3. The senses are said to be greater than the body, but greater than the senses is the mind. Greater than the mind is the intellect, and what is greater than the intellect is he, the self. We trust our senses a lot. What I hear, I overheard this or I heard this. I saw it with my own eyes. I can smell the trouble around over here. This is what people do. But greater than the senses is the mind. The mind has a judgmental factor. It will tell you, yes, what you saw is the truth. It's like that news article which I told you about. The news article is saying very clearly that, 15 feet distance, and you believe in it. The news article says that there are no diseases and there are no deaths in certain great countries. Do you think, use that little 25 paisa brain which God has given. Do you really think like that? So these are the things which we need to understand. Mind is greater than the senses. You may be blind, but your mind can show you the path. Have you not seen blind people work their way out? Same way deaf people. We may think that deaf people are idiots. No. They are looking at you and reading your lips. Whatever you are doing, they are reading your lips. Their mind is telling what is that person talking about. Let us say you are holding something in hand and the person is deaf in front of you. The person who is deaf will say, okay, this person is saying something with that object, connected to the object. And in his mind, he is able to restructure the whole sentence. They can visualize the sentence. Please remember this. Even those people who do not hear, they can visualize the sentence. They can understand you very clearly. So there is no need for you to shout at them and talk to them as if blah, 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 blah. No. They're reading your lips. You can talk in a whisper to them. When you talk in a whisper, I have always told you that the frequency of whisper is greater than talking loudly. Have we not discussed the four kinds of sounds? Para, Paschanti, Madhyama and Vaikhari. We have done that before. Have I not said that the loudest of the sound, blah, blah, I'm just talking loudly. It's not even going to enter that person. But if I say it in a whisper, if I say it very softly, the mind is hearing the sentence clearly. The mind is interacting. There is no need for the ear. The load on the ear can be lessened and the load on the mind can be much greater. So a whisper has a higher amplitude and a frequency. So a whisper can break even glass if you need to. Let me tell you this much. But a loud sound like this, if I speak loudly, nothing is going to happen. How the sound changes is very important. So the mind has to be given more importance than the senses. Sometimes you are able to smell things. Sometimes you may not smell things, but you can say, I think my bread is burning. You may not smell it, but you can easily guess the time it was there in that toaster, and you will say, oh my god, my bread is burning. You can say these words, isn't it? Your mind is more stronger than your senses. It is much more powerful, and more power is to the intellect. The intellect is a greater tool. What does it do? It has got knowledge in it. Knowledge will teach you exactly how things are done. So please understand, greater than the mind is the intellect. Intellectual people solve problems. The people who are there at a lower level create problems. How do they create problems? In an office, you will see the person who is a clerical level or a person who is at a very low level will say, Boss, I don't know how this is done. What is the job of a top level executive? The top level executive is to find solutions, isn't it? Hasn't Narendra Modi said yesterday or day before, I'm going to talk to everyone. I'm going to take their opinions. I'm going to find out from them. What is it that we got to do in such circumstances? But did he give judgment? An intelligent person listens to people but doesn't judge them, doesn't make any judgment whatsoever on what the people are talking. Because please understand, the lower level people talk because they have very little brains. They will just jabber, 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 jabber. If they were to have brains, don't you think they would have risen in their life? So to rise in your life, first listen. Don't make judgments immediately. Like Narendra Modi, he said, I will take time for another 2 days to come to a conclusion what I have to do. And he will say that a person who is of a lower level of intelligence will immediately jump and say, oh, this person has to be done, that has to be done, that has to be done. No, no. Intellect is far greater than the mind. Mind judges, mind jumps. Tuk, 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 tuk. It was described in a very beautiful manner by Ramakrishna Paramahansa. You can yourself experience it in your kitchen. You see, you take one kadai, a vessel, put some oil in it, put some tadka in it, mustard and all that, and you put whatever that you wish to, some beans, and don't put on the heat. Nothing is going to happen. Put on the heat high. Do you see everything jumping? Tuk, 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 tuk. That is the mind of an idiot, which is already hot in the beginning. Hot, They are angry in the beginning itself. And when they see these things happening, they already jump, like these beans and this tadka. No. You don't have to do that. Calm yourself down. So a person who has no control over his mind or his senses is going to go to ruins. Those who do not show this kind of a reaction immediately, but those who know very well how they have to respond to any kind of problems, they have a level head. A level-headed person knows how to win wars. A non-level-headed person will immediately jump to conclusions and can destroy his own self. So you have to be astute. You have to gather your senses, your mind, and your intellect properly. Krishna is saying, higher than the senses is the mind, higher than the mind is the intellect, and higher than the intellect is the self. A self is the divinity inside of you. The self is never judgmental. It is always in the state of Sat Chit Ananda. It is peaceful, blissful, kind, compassionate, loving, caring, and it understands everything because it is full of knowledge. The self is self-satisfied. It is always in a state of satisfaction. There is no need for any desire to come in. So higher than the intellect is he, the self. And you have to move towards the self. The lower you are in the category, you are going to allow your senses to talk. Slightly higher, your mind to talk. Why would you want to do that? Why do you jump to conclusions? Why do you respond to things in anger, upset, or whatever that emotion is? If some person praises you to the heavens, don't keep on thinking, oh my God, this person is so good. Everything is controlled by Maya. Please understand this. There is nobody truthful in this world. Don't ever think that whoever is talking to you is truthful. Only the self is full of the truth. That is why they say God is truth. God is love. Only the higher people, the beings who are self-realized, they are telling you the truth. Do not listen to people who are on the lower rung, the lower category. Those who are driven by senses are the worst. Those who are driven by the mind are second worst. Don't fall for them. Arjuna, Krishna is saying, please do not give so much importance to the mind and the senses. You have been given an intellect, use it. There are two kinds of intellect. One is the lower intellect and one is the higher intellect. The lower intellect will tell you how to work in this world. It will tell you how to become a capitalist. Today the markets are down. You can make more money. The lower intellect will tell you this. Then on the other hand, there is the higher intellect. The higher intellect will say, these fluctuations happen constantly in the marketplace. Why are you bothered about it? Don't indulge in anything like that. Use the intellect to go towards the divinity, the higher knowledge. No university can give you the knowledge. No Harvards of this world can even tell you to become self-realized. No Harvard can tell you that. No teacher in this world. An average human teacher can never teach you anything. It is the divine himself who comes in the form of the spiritual master who will then take you towards this divinity. The knowledge of that divine is called the higher intellect. This higher intellect has to be used to move towards the self, and self is not in the body. The self is non-reactive. It doesn't do anything. It is only a witness. It is just watching everything that is happening. You just have to watch. You don't have to react to anything. You don't have to be interactive in anything. You can become a yogi. You can be detached from this world. The people are going to talk all kinds of nonsense around you. If you listen to their nonsense, your mind is going to react. If your mind reacts, you are going to get in trouble. If you keep your mouth shut and your mind shut, what is going to happen? Nothing. A very recent example. Do you remember me telling you just now that the environment has become very, very clean? Do you remember me telling you that? Very good. A few years ago, all the great scientists of this world said that there is an ozone layer. There is a hole in the sky. Why? Because of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, all kinds of gases are leaking. They are destroying this atmosphere. And they were talking about the hole becoming bigger and bigger so that the radiations from the sun will hit the earth. So they said you have to become very, very environmentally clean. Please go and ask those scientists today. What are the levels of carbon dioxide in this world? Very minimal. What is the level of nitrous oxide? No cars outside, see? Nobody roaming here and there. The waters are clean, the air is clean, the forests are doing well, everything is perfect. No carbon dioxide, no nitrous oxide, no carbon monoxide, no deadly gases anywhere. No wars also. Are there any wars anywhere? No. There is only virus. How is it that there is a bigger hole than last time? Do you know today there is a bigger hole in the atmosphere? It is as big as Greenland. You know Greenland, how big is it? Go and see in the map. So now what is the new answer the scientists are going to give? There is no answer. The economists, the people who work the markets are going to come up with theories. The market is going and this and that. Suddenly the market has diminished. It has gone somewhere. All the big companies have disappeared. Do you think any of this is under control? You can come up with whatever nonsense that you wish to. The world, the universe works in a completely different manner. It is called higher knowledge. Your university degrees will have no standing in front of that knowledge. And that is the reason why the sage doesn't even bother talking. You go and ask him, there is pollution in the river. There are trees being cut. There is carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide. And the sage will just look at that person like Ramana Maharshi and say, he'll just nod his head. But there are people in this world who will say, let us save, let us do this, let us do that. Now please ask those same people to go and save that big hole in the sky. What are they going to do? It is important to segregate the trash. Yes, I am telling you 100%. Yes, do not use plastic because it is harmful. It is true. We have to not use the plastic. We have to not pollute, which means discipline is important. Okay, don't cut the trees. That is also important. Am I denying that? I am not denying that. I am not saying that that is not the right knowledge. I am saying that is the right knowledge. But don't go and attribute things which are not even under your control to something completely different. Don't make judgments. Do you understand what I'm saying? You are making judgments. Who makes judgments? Idiotic minds makes judgments. Go save the world. Please do saving. Do everything possible. But don't be judgmental and saying that because of this, that is happening. So any person who says, because my father didn't teach me, that is why I have become an idiot. No, sir. You were an idiot before only. It's not because of your father. It is your karma. Somebody has come and done this to me. No, it is your karma. Common sense will tell you not to trust people, not to get into that particular path. But you have gone. Who is responsible? Your own karma is responsible. That is called higher knowledge. But nobody wants to know that. They want to blame the world. They want to blame every other person. Plant the trees. Go do this. Dredge the rivers. Falana, digna. Everything. Not important. Yeah, you got to do it. Go do it. Where is the higher intellect? Higher intellect will tell you, shut up. Don't talk. Don't use your mind. There are some people in this world who are called saviors. Let them save the earth. If you are in spiritual, this is the path of spirituality. Your job is not to go and save the world. Have you been given the theka, the contract to save the world? Don't try to save the world. You just do what you're supposed to do. Go talk about spirituality. That's it. That is your job. Not saving the world. For saving the world, there are politicians and all these people. God has made them. They have kept them in their places. So verse 43 says, Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, thus Arjuna, knowing the self which is higher than the intellect and subduing the mind by reason, kill this enemy in the form of desire that is hard to overcome. I will take 5 more minutes after 9 o'clock. Another 3 more minutes plus 5. So here, Krishna is telling Arjuna, please know the self which is higher than the intellect and subdue the mind by reason. Okay? Subdue the mind. Don't start jumping. Don't jump. Don't jump. I have already created the people who are supposed to be involved in the action. They have a job. You have a job. Everybody has been given their positions. Don't think you should go and do somebody else's job. Does it mean we are not supposed to save the world? If you are a medical person, if you are involved in the healthcare business, go and try to save the world. And the healthcare people there in it to save the world? Yes, it is their job. So, what gives you the right to say that I am going to save the world? No. Understand this very clearly. You have a job to do. Arjuna, your job is to fight. You are a Kshatriya. Your job is not how to do this and how to do other things in the world. When I give you that job, suppose I give you a job of an administrator, then you do the administration part. Right now, you have not been given that part at all. So use that mind which I have given you properly. Use the intellect very, very clearly. Understand that that is not your job. Your mind has been telling you very clearly that I am not supposed to go out. Don't go out. And you have to be safe. Be safe. If you have to use masks, use the masks. If you have to wear gloves, wear the gloves. That is for your safety and for your family's safety and for the safety of the nation. Follow the rules. Be very clear. Mind has been given not to flout the rules. Don't get angry. Don't get upset. Everything happens for good. Why it is happening? We are not here to make judgments. Did I not tell you that mind judges? We are not here to judge. We are not here to save the world. If you have that, if you have been given that particular job to go and save the world, please go and save the world. You understand? When there is a war, the army people, the navy and the air force, they fight the war. You are not supposed to fight the war. They are there specifically for that job. Likewise, the government is there for their job. Don't try to interfere in their job. Let them do their job properly. If there is a sweeper on the road, he has got a job. Let him do his job. Use your brains. All right? Whatever that you have been given, I have given it right in front of your nose. Can you do that much? Not use your mind in other things? Not allow your intellect to go out? Do your job perfectly? Be lost in the self. Use this knowledge for higher development of yours in the spiritual realm, and kill the enemy of desire. The desire that you can be the greatest thing on planet Earth. Understand? No. Remove that desire. There is no need. You don't have to become an Instagram star. You don't have to become a superstar anywhere. If that is written in your life, go and become. But if it is not written, stay away from it. Don't. So he says, overcome this desire, subdue the mind by reason, know the higher self by this knowledge that I have given you through the higher intellect. And this is how you will become the greatest soldier. He is telling Arjuna that. You will become the greatest of the Kshatriyas. So we have come to the end of chapter 3. And after this, we will be doing a new chapter, chapter 4. Please take care of yourself. Stay safe. Use that mind that God has given you, the brain also. Use it carefully. And stay indoors. Bye. Take care of yourself. Bye.